Welcome everyone to episode 25 of the Unintentional Journeyman. If you were with us in the last episode, you'll know that we were sitting in first place in the Vanarama National League South. Life was wonderful. We couldn't do anything wrong. I thought it was living a dream, and apparently we were, because, well, in the past month, things have changed. We'll take a look at our turn of results. And we'll also take a look at some very interesting circumstances that may make our career with Hampton and Richmond a moot point. Yes, we also have a job offer. We'll take a look at all these things in this episode, and we'll play our key match against Hemel Hempstead, who sit in third place. But let's get started first with taking a look at our results. We had a wonderful run in the early part of the season. So we started off, we lost our very first match. Then we went on a 9-match streak where we were undefeated. We lost another one. Then we ran off another 4 wins. Things were looking really good. We had shot ourselves all the way up to first place in the league. Then we played Yeovil in the FA Cup 4th qualifying round. This was our match of the month in our last episode. We lost that match 2-0. But they were in the league above us, even though they were in last place. And so that is what it is. I thought it was a more hiccup or just kind of a blip. But apparently it wasn't. We lost our next match to Boreham Wood 1-0. Tied our next match to Weldstone 0-0. 1-1 to Wells, to lose. 1-1 to Gloucester. Both of whom sit in the lower end of the table. In short, if you look at it, our offense just dried up. We were scoring a lot of goals, at least 2 goals in most of our matches in the early part of the season. We went 0-0, 1-1 over those next 5 matches. And I have some ideas as to why that may be the case. This was something I noticed last year as well, too. So I thought I'd take a moment and talk about that. Then we'll look at our exciting job offer, because things may change depending on which way we go with that. So last year as well, we had a nice run of about 12 games, and then all of a sudden, nothing worked. And I think that it's something where perhaps opposing coaches make some AI adjustments after about a dozen games or so. And they all make the same adjustments at once, because we didn't change anything. I didn't touch the formation, the tactics. The players are essentially the same players I've been using the whole season. But for whatever reason, we just weren't scoring anymore. So I've gone in now, and I tweaked our tactics. If you remember, we were running, and I think that's the way you have to beat it. We've been running this 4-2-3-1, which has been working really, really well, and all of a sudden it just stopped working, and nobody was scoring. So now I've shifted to, we had about a week and a half in there where we had no match because we were knocked out of the FA Cup. So we played a couple of friendlies and tried both this 4-2-4 wide and also a 4-2-2-2 narrow, with both the midfielders playing Carolero roles to get them out wide. Both worked okay in our friendlies. This tended to kind of see the defenders kind of bottle up in the middle, and I liked this one a little bit better because it got our players out wide. So, and with Murray, or one of our attacking midfielders, on kind of an advanced playmaker role, he seems to slide up into this space anyway, and this seems to look good. We tried this in our last match against Basingstoke, and we won 3-0. So it seems to have kind of jump-started our offense again. So I'm thinking that's enough of a tactical adjustment to throw off whatever the opposing managers are doing to us to shut us down on that 4-2-3-1. And I'm hopeful eventually I can shift back to that again, because I think that is our best suited formation. But for whatever reason, our opponents had adjusted to it and shut us down. So that's where we are in terms of results, and in terms of tactics, and in terms of thinking behind the performances that we're getting. But let's take a look at a very interesting situation. If we dig into the inbox here, about a week and a half ago, Leyton Orient came approached me out of the blue and offered me a job interview. I said, what the heck? And then why not? And they offered me a contract for £875 per week to take over the managerial job at Brisbane Road. Leyton Orient is in the Vanarama National League. This is the league above us. Even better yet, they sit in 8th place. And our objectives would be to get them to, if we look at the league table, the objectives would be to get them into the playoffs. They currently sit 1 point out of the playoff zone. So it would only take a little bit of a nudge of improvement over what they're currently doing to get them into that playoff spot, which could conceivably push us up to Sky Bet League 2 by the end of this season, to start next season. That's an interesting step up in the football world. A couple of concerns. Their budget, I think, is £35,000 per week is what they've offered me to be able to spend. And it looks like, adding up some of the numbers here, just doing a rough calculation, it looks like they're already over that. So I don't think there'd be a lot of money to work with. There would be essentially no transfer budget. I think it's just a couple £1,000s is the transfer budget. So I think it would be kind of taking the team that we've got and doing something with them to kind of get them a little bit better. Not that that would necessarily be all that much of a challenge. It looks like they have some fairly decent players, but not having played at the Vanarama National League level, it's really hard for me to kind of tell how good these guys are. But apparently they must be decent. If they're predicted to finish, I believe it was in first, now they're sitting in eighth. So interesting situation. I've delayed it for a week to think it over. If anyone out there has thoughts, should I take the Leyton Orient job? Should I stay with Hampton and Richmond? Let me know. It's kind of an interesting situation here. Also, Bristol Rovers out of nowhere came in and offered me an interview for a job with their club. They sit in Skybet League 1. Sounds like a good deal. However, they are at the very bottom edge of the table, sitting here in 23rd place. Their wage budget is only 50-something thousand pounds, which I think, if Leyton Orient is 35,000 and Bristol Rovers is 55,000, but they're 2 leagues above Leyton Orient, that strikes me as being kind of a little bit of a tough situation. And if we look at the club here, and look at their profile, I believe there was in here, how could I see that? Estimated value is $11.24 million. However, it's someplace that had their financial situation, facilities maybe, they're severely in debt, and so I think they're worth $11 million, but they have a loan. They're carrying a loan of $5 or $6 million or something like that. So the financial situation seems a little bit precarious. But if they were to come and offer a job, and basically, again, all we have to do is stay above relegation. So it would be another relegation fight. I think all their wages are taken up. Still, it would be Skybet League 1, which is a significant jump up. I mean, 3 leagues up from where we are right now. Be almost unheard of to be able to get that high so quickly. I don't think we'd stay there long given their debt situation, but if we could hold them up and then maybe leverage that into another job, maybe that would help with our reputation. I'm not really sure. So anyway, that aside, it's time to dig into our matches here. We'll go right to our tactics. We have a big match against Hemel Hempstead. Again, I'm not sure what I'm going to do about those job situations, but I'll think about it over the next couple days and make a decision as things come in. But Hemel Hempstead sit in 3rd place. We have jumped up to 5th place, up from 7th after recovering a little bit and changing our formation and beating Basingstoke. So it should be a fascinating match. We are at home at 64 degrees and drizzle. Let's take a look at our team and our tactics. Most of these things are familiar if you've been watching the series for a while. We've got our standard, our goalkeeper for the past year and a half has been Barden. We have rotating through the same defensive back. Interesting players of note that if you're kind of following in, Jack Evans has finally got into match shape and played his first game as a starter. He has performed brilliantly, a 9.0 rating, got 2 assists in his first one. Looks like a cut above anything we've got. He was all over the field and highly influential. Interestingly enough, the team we got Jack Evans from, Hemel Hempstead. So a little bit of kind of cross-team connections here for this match. Terry Robinson was a midfielder that came in. He's ranked higher than all of our other outside wingers here, and he's going to get the start today. He was also got his first start in the last game, performed very, very well. I'm working in Keane. This is Carl Keane's the guy I mentioned a couple of episodes ago, who every time I stick him in, he just gets the ball in the goal. I haven't played him hardly at all, but almost every time he plays, he picks up a goal. So I'm going to start him as kind of a target man up here and see how that works out. I'm going to give him 2 or 3 starts here or so and see how things go. But other than that, Matt Lambias, he scored in our last game, finally got back on the board to break a little bit of a drought. I think he now has 10 goals in 15 games and is pretty close to the top of the scoring in the Vanarama National League South. I don't think he's number 1. I think someone has 12 or 13 goals, but he's pretty close to the top there. Kelly's been in somewhat of a drought, although he was near the top for a while. I think he's still stuck on 5 goals. He's been there for 4 or 5 matches. It'd be nice to see him pick up a goal today. Main thing, though, is for us to win. I think with that in mind, let's dig into the match here. It looks like we've kind of had a pretty fairly even battle here. Hemel Hempstead, interestingly enough, last year was down where we were at the bottom of the table. And this year they have just been, skyrocketing up here in the standings. Let's go to the dressing room, set our opposing instructions. We'll ask the assistant. Looks like they're coming out in a 4-4-2. So as always, I do want to press these outside elements. For whatever reason, it seems to help us. Maybe it's just superstition now, but I like to do that. Let's do team talk. Players appear to be in good spirits. Challenge the team to pick up where they left off. Let's do this. Come on, lads. Show me what you can do to keep our run going. This one doesn't seem to be so important, as there's a lot more to come from you. And I completely believe you've got what it takes. I just keep saying the same thing. Well, that didn't work with our midfield now. Interesting. That's the first time that hasn't worked. But anyway, the players look inspired, not ready to walk through walls. Okay. Maybe finally the magic is wearing off with that one here. We are in the red and black. Hemel Hempstead in the green. Wow, that's a quick press. He's just flying at us here. This looks harder than a drizzle. This looks kind of like a rain storm, if you ask me. Hemel Hempstead. I think Hemel Hempstead have scored a lot of goals. Oh, yeah. 29 seconds in, they're on the board. They've scored a lot of goals, but they've given up a lot of goals. Boy, that's a pretty dismal start for us here. Oh, lucky bounce deflection there. Bounced in front. Any offsides? Offside with no S. Okay. Well, hopefully we can rebound from that a little bit. We're picking up some shots now here. We have given up the first goal in a good number of our matches, and it doesn't really seem to slow us down. We seem to rebound and do pretty well here. We've picked up a number of shots. They have it down in our end again here, too. Okay, there we go. Bauer. This is interesting. Why is this leading to a replay here? Foxel, you going to do something with it? Okay. Oh, hate when they get the second ball. Oh, sending it wide. Okay, right to Barden. That's pretty easy here. Okay, guys, let's go. I want to highlight for us. Let's at least tie it up by halftime here. Let's get us on the board. Our center back, Marcus Bassett, picks up a yellow card. Let's tell him to ease off the tackles. That's another highlight for them. Off the side of the netting. The side of the post. I may actually start to push us positive here, despite the fact that they're doing. I'm going to push us positive, and I'm also going to ask us to counter press to give them a little bit less time to get started if we lose the ball. I think we've done better. I just kind of don't really have any evidence for this yet, but I feel like we've done a little bit better when we've counter pressed, just to get them a little bit less time on the ball here. Nice. Here we go. Robinson out. Kelly's right there. Yes! Picks up his first goal in a while, and it's all knotted at one. Robinson again looking sharp out at that outside wing. He's played brilliantly. Now, this is just his second start. He is rated, I think, a star or about a half star better than any one of our other outside right wings, and we do have a number of them in there all about the same that have been kind of shuffling through. Should I make the Yeah. Oh, so that was even without our tactical changes, but I like the idea of the tactical changes. Oh, Lambius, there it is, the cross to the far post. He hits the side of the netting, so close. All right, we've got a match here. We're out shooting them. They've got the ball. These highlights from... Okay, we pick it up. Keane, do something good. Nice! He sends Lambius away. Lambius seems to score about half of these. Yes, we're in front, 2-1. Outstanding. He gets the full roll on that one. I feel like I should praise someone here. Who was that? Was that Keane in that long pass? All right. Nice. So let's praise Keane and Lambius. I'll confirm that shout. Great! A little bit of resiliency here. And we've taken a 2-1 lead. Let's extend on it. Great to see both Lambias and Kelly picking up goals here. Kelly had been in quite a drought there for, I think, 4 more matches or so without picking up a goal. So it's good to see him get on the board. We're back down here again. Murray, our attacking midfielder. Evans to Keane. Keane back to Kelly. Whoa. Oh, wow, that was so tasty. Oh, that rebound right to Lambias. He had such a good chance there. Would have been nice to go up by 2. Now, again, I think Hemel Hempstead have scored a lot and given up a lot, so I feel like this could be a wild one here, and 2-1 should not feel very comfortable given their offensive capabilities. Although, having said that, our defense, I think, is rated 3rd in the league right now. So we've had some pretty good spells here. Get in! Oh, off the bar. I want another one. Oh, that was so close. Would have been quite a kind of cheap goal there, but we would have taken it. Okay, at halftime. Looks like our tactical shifts have freed up our offense a little bit. We are out shooting them by quite a bit. What should I say here? You've played well so far, but there's still room for improvement. Nah. We've got to guard against complacency now. Don't think the job is done. Let's try that. Ooh, nice. Gets a good green response from 9 of 11 players. Let's try this. There's a lot more to come from you, and I believe you've got what it takes. Our midfield seems to be completely unresponsive to that. I don't think there's any halftime changes we want to make. I like how things have gone since we've shifted our tactics here, and so far so good. Long ball forward. This feels somewhat dangerous, except he's offside. All right. Let's pour it on, guys. Let's get another one. Their ball. Oh, that's... How on the free kick does... Oh, how did he miss? Griffiths had the whole right side open there. What is Bassett, our defender, doing? He was asleep on the switch there. That was a free kick. How can you let someone get by you like that on a free kick? Okay, things are quieting down here now. Terry Robinson picks up a yellow card. Out on the wing. Let's see if we get some advice to have him ease off tackles. 60 minutes, I do think we may want to make some substitutions. At least I want to take a look at it. See what we can do here. Nice. Pick it up. Evans. Murray. Out to Manuel. Manuel forward. That's a... Oh, Evans. Jack Evans, our newly acquired Jack Evans. Feeds it to Kelly. What? Was he offside? Really? I didn't look offside. Jack Evans, again, has been everywhere. That's the first highlight we got with him in that. But in his last game, he was literally all over the place, stealing the ball, just interrupting everything, picking off passes, making good passes. Again, he had 2 assists to lead us there to a 3-0 victory. Okay, what can we do for substitutions here? Terry Robinson, Ewan Murray at attacking midfielder has struggled a bit. 6.6 rating. I feel like Zach Brunt here is better, but I do feel like since Murray signed for 2 years and Brunt's on loan, that I kind of have to keep going with Murray for a while here. I'm tempted to substitute out Bassett, who just hasn't looked good of late at center back, and kind of shore up our defense a little bit with Bailey coming in. That would get Bassett out with his yellow card. Our offense seems to be doing pretty well. Maybe Murray, but I'd like to give him a little more time. Let's make that defensive substitution. So let's put Bale in there. Bailey is a little better, I think, on his left. So let's try that. Okay. I'm going to swap out Murray. Whoa. Okay. Was it crosser the ball? Sure. I thought we already were doing that. 70 minutes in now. Could the 2-1 score stand? Oh, he spilled it. Lambias picks it up. Whacked out. Uh-oh. This feels somewhat dangerous. No. Oh, Barton with a huge save. How are they beating our defenders like this? I haven't seen this happen consistently all year, and that's, I think, almost 3 times or so they've done it so far. Headed successfully. Why did he let it go? Was he offside, maybe? Was he that smart? Okay. Kind of surprised for a lower league player. Let's bring Brunt in for Ewan Murray. Same role, same spot, to see if he's got a little bit of magic to get us another goal or stuff up the middle here. I may... Ooh, now another interesting option. Matt Robinson is better defensively. If I really wanted to emphasize defense, I could bring Matt Robinson in for Murray. But no, let's not do that. Matt Robinson has been grumbling about playing time. He's a player we brought in a few months ago. Unwell with the free kick. Hits the wall. Okay. Do something interesting here. And helpful. And interesting and helpful. Not that. Oh, is that a foul? Okay. Red card? I'm not... Okay. That's his first yellow card. That's kind of such an odd thing when they do that. When the guy walks over and you think, he's not going to give him a red card for sure. Not for that. He doesn't have a yellow card, so why is that? Oh, as I'm rambling on with that, Lambius picks up a brace with a wonderfully placed shot to the lower left side of the net. That was just fantastic. That could give us some breathing room here. Who set him up? Was it Brunt again? Oh, Kelly. So Kelly is going to get the assist, and Lambius, let's just praise everybody. Fantastic. Up 3-1. This would be a big win for us. This would also make me think that the tactical shifts that were made have really helped here. But maybe I'm speaking a little bit too soon. There's still quite a bit of time left to go. And again, they have a fairly potent offense. Manuel whips it into the empty stands there. He looks so desolate over there. However, let us make one more tactical change. Not a tactical change, but let's... 10 minutes to go. Let's really slow the pace down here. Gonna stay positive because I think staying on the front foot keeps the ball out of our end, and things have gone well since we've shifted that way. I'm hesitant to shift them up again. Okay, 3 minutes. Kelly flips it to Evans. See what kind of a shot he's got. Not that shot. Uh-oh, they're on the counter here. Wow, they have numbers. There's a lot of them here. This is dangerous. Oh, Barden with a huge save. Oh, looks like he's always out of position there, but... And he picks up the corner, too. Oh, gosh. Daniel Barden has been such a great acquisition. He might be the best pickup we've had so far. We picked him up, about a third of the way through last year. I think he's played almost every game in goal so far for us. With 4 minutes to go, let's bring in one more player here to slow things down. Let's go... Let's bring in... Oh, actually, yeah, let's bring out Terry Robinson, put in Asamugu, who has been very good for us on the outside, but Terry Robinson just seems to be slightly better for us. They have had a flurry of shots here. They're now up to 13 shots, but maybe it was all in that one little sequence there. 3 minutes to go. Looks like we got a card coming out based on what's going on down below. This would be a big win for us if we can pick this one up. I don't know how high. There's a cluster of teams all together, and at the top, teams keep winning. So I'm not sure how much we'll move up in the standings. But to beat the third place team convincingly like this, 3-1, would be a big step forward for us. Why did it go 7 minutes over? That's got to be it. Keane, out to Kelly. Can we get one more here? Be greedy. Right in front. Shoot it. Oh. Surprised they didn't let that play out. Well, there you go. A nice solid 3-1 victory coming back from 1-0. Aiden King from 442.com says, I'm surprised at this result. To be honest, I expected a close game with the most likely winners being Hemel Hempstead. So for Hampton and Richmond to win is really something. Yeah, that's a good feeling. I'm happy about that one. We should let the team know we appreciate their efforts. I'm going to go with I'm very pleased, boys. Actually, let's go a little passionate here. Very pleased with the result in your performance. Outstanding. Look good here. Lambius, really good. Let's have just a quiet word for him. You impressed me out there. I think he's at his maximum delight right now. And let's say Carl Keane. He hasn't played very much. I'm pleased with how you did today. That sounds pretty good. And let's talk to Josh Kelly, who picked up a goal. You impressed me out there. That was good. The other guys, not all that. Let's see where we move up in the standings here. Excuse me. Still shaking a little bit of a cold here. Wait for the results to compile. Be nice if we move up a little bit in the standings. Toying with us here. Waiting. And up into third place. So Bath, who is in first place, 3 points ahead of us. They were 3 points at the beginning of the day. They won. So we have moved up 2 spots. Hemel Hempstead have dropped down to 7th place. it looks like, kind of based on those things, that shift in tactics did work out. As soon as we made that tactical shift, all of a sudden our offense perked up again, and we're back up kind of in that 3-goal range where we kind of were before we had all those issues. So I'm starting to wonder if opponents, after about a dozen games or so, just shift to your tactic if you stick with that same tactic. So maybe it makes sense to have a couple of high-functioning tactics that you can shift back and forth to always keep the other teams off, kind of a little bit unsure as to what you're going to do. So just kind of noticing it's happened, I think, 2 or 3 times now in season. So happy with those results. The big question now is, what do we do? You know, we have that job offer from Leyton Orient, and it would be tempting to just move up immediately to the Vanarama National League. And the team right on the cusp of the playoffs and just make them a little bit better. That might be kind of a fun job. They are offering me less money than I'm currently getting now. I think right now I'm getting £975 a week here. Where is it? Yeah, £975 a week. They're only offering me $875, so I might be able to talk them up to about the same. Would be good for my career, that's for sure, to move up a whole league and perhaps get a chance to make the playoffs up there. So I'm tempted. The thing that's kind of leaning me a little bit against it, though, is I'm having a great time managing this club, and it's fun now to see some of these players we've brought in to start to flourish. I mean, a player like Lambias, Barden, our goalkeeper, some of these midfielders like Zach Brunt, now Jack Evans, who we've picked up. We've got a pretty good team here, I think, and they're playing well, and it's fun, and I kind of hate to give it up a little bit. I should also mention the one thing that irks me. This will be the last thing I'll say before we kind of wrap up here. One thing that did irk me is that the board came about a month ago, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the last episode, and they said, we really want to keep you with the club. We're really happy with how you're doing. Let's negotiate a new contract. And they offered me the exact same amount of money for a year and a half as I'm making right now, with some kind of like a 15% promotion bonus, and that's it. And so I asked for more money, and they went right back to their initial offer. I asked for more money, and they went right back to their initial offer. And then finally I said, well, screw this, and I just walked away from them. So it kind of irks me. I feel like they're almost like taking advantage of me here. They're trying to lock me up for a year and a half without really giving me any more money. And I feel like, well, if you want to extend my contract another year, you know, you can't kind of base it only on promotion when the expectation was that we were going to, you know, not get relegated and we're dancing around in the playoff zone here. So little bit of bad blood there in terms of a little bit of a kind of an awkward feeling there that they're not really taking care of me. So that led me, I think, in terms to go check out the interview with Leyton Orient. And we do have the Bristol Rover option coming up here too. We might see how that job interview turns out. But in any case, moving forward, it brings us to the end of the 25th of November to take a look forward here. Dartford, 9th place. We've got some pretty tricky matches coming up here. Welling is in 11th. Take a look at, probably come back for the Woking match, should be my guess. That'll give us 3 more league matches and take us right to the halfway point in the season. Maybe East Thurrock. We'll come back for that. If we are here, that is. There's a possibility I might take that job offer from Leyton Orient. So we'll see how things go. But thanks for coming by. Have a great day. We'll be back for our next match. And looking forward to seeing which way this career goes. So have a great day. If you do enjoy the video, please consider subscribing. It does provide motivation, and likes are great as well. Any comments or thoughts as to which way I should go on the job, that would be interesting too. And that's all for now. Thank you.